We already talked about the benefits of living a low-tech life while pursuing a one-bag life. But with like everything in life, there are always two sides to a medal. That's why this video is all about the drawbacks of living a low-tech life while pursuing a one-bag life. And at the end of the video, I'll give you my single best tip on when you should stop your own low-tech life journey before it becomes too extreme for every kind of lifestyle, even if you're not pursuing a one-bag life. So don't miss out. If you're new here, I'm Sven, just an extreme minimalist one-bag lifer with less than 100 possessions and the desire to live his whole life out of just one carry-on sized backpack. So if you end up liking the video, don't forget to subscribe and like, but most important, share a comment with your thoughts at the end of the video, check the weekly one-bag life community post, and join me on my journey towards a true one-bag life. But I would say, let's get started. Have you ever missed tech or smart things in your life? And I don't mean because you forgot them somewhere, I actually mean because you don't own them or haven't bought them yet. I honestly felt like this in some situations in my life. Although when I think about more deeply, then I always realize that I actually don't need these things. But as I said, there are definitely some moments in life where I wished I had more tech. And these are actually the moments where I realized the drawbacks of living a low-tech life while even pursuing a one-bag life. One of the first and one of the biggest drawbacks when you want to live a low-tech life is that in some situations you will have less connections to other people. And this is true because you maybe want to size down to the least amount of tech or smart items that you can have in your life. And that comes, as I said, with the drawbacks of losing connections, because maybe you will get rid of your PC or your gaming console. So you will lose some connection or some time that you spend with your friends online gaming. Or maybe you go a little bit more extreme and switch to a dumb phone that isn't supporting some of the most common messaging apps or devices. So there is a certain, I would say, fear of losing connections when you start living a low-tech life. But this is, as I said, one of the biggest drawbacks in my opinion, that when you go too extreme or declutter too much of your tech, that you definitely will have to sacrifice a little bit of the connection to other people, especially because in today's day and age, you can be connected via tech or smart things to almost everybody around the world at every time in day. So this is one of the major drawbacks. Something many people might neglect when it comes to living a low-tech life is that you will have to learn a lot of things in the future, because as with maybe AI or some other tools, tech is advancing at a rapidly speed and it becomes more and more part of everyday life in all different kinds of occasions. And when you size down on a lot of things when it comes to tech and smart gadgets, at some point when they become like the normal thing in a daily life of everyone, then you need to relearn some things in the future. And that is a thing that I would say can be a major drawback, maybe not now, maybe not next week or next year, but maybe in 10 or 20 years when tech becomes such an integral part of everyone's life that you need to learn some new skills that you could have acquired if you are not living a low-tech life before. And lastly, maybe the biggest part or the biggest drawback of living a low-tech life, especially in combination with pursuing a one-bag life, is that your day-to-day life will be much more inconvenient than it is right now maybe. Because as you maybe or might have noticed, especially here in Germany, a lot of restaurants now have these QR code menus, for example. And when you size down, as I already mentioned before, to a dumb phone that hasn't a QR code scanner built into the phone, it will be much more inconvenient when you go out and eat to find the right things or to find the right places. And that is especially true when you pair a low-tech life with a one-bag life, because you're already sacrificing a little bit of convenience because you want to live your whole life out of just one bag or one suitcase. And also now you try to size down your tech items or your smart items, which will be more and more part of everyday life. So you're also sacrificing convenience for, as I would say, as little as possible tech in your life. So this is maybe the single most important thing that will be especially important in the future when tech becomes even more present, especially when it comes to smart gadgets, that your life definitely will become less convenient than when you would have a lot of tech in your life. As you can see, there are definitely some drawbacks when you want to live a low-tech life, especially in combination with a one-bag life. But in the end, these drawbacks definitely do not outweigh the benefits for me personally. And as you can see, this video is much shorter than the benefit ones, because in my opinion, there are definitely less drawbacks when it comes to a low-tech life than there are benefits in today's day and age. Yes, it might be a little bit less convenient, and you have the chance, or not the chance, but you could lose some connection in the future. But in the end, it comes down to your personal preference and your consumption with tech, or your relationship with tech, to decide what is still convenient and what not. But now that you know the drawbacks of living a low-tech life while pursuing a one-bag life, here is my single best tip on when you should stop your own low-tech life journey, because it's going to be too extreme for every kind of lifestyle, even if you're not pursuing a one-bag life. It might be obvious, but you should definitely stop your own personal low-tech life journey when you start trading convenience for having as little tech as possible. And this is especially important when you are pursuing any kind of extreme lifestyle, no matter if it's a low-tech life or even a one-bag life. And in my experience, I can tell you, going down the rabbit hole to own as least items as possible, no matter if it's for a one-bag life or a low-tech life, is a very, very easy to go to thing. So, I mean, the line between going too or having too less or being too strict to yourself and having a good relationship with your things is very, very thin. So you need to watch out. You need to have a good relationship with your tech items to find out what the sweet spot is. Because going too extreme is definitely not a good thing. And being too, I don't know how actually to say it, but being too strict to yourself and therefore making your personal life less convenient or having a bad impact on your personal life definitely do not weigh out the benefits of having as less tech as possible. So find a way, find a good relationship with your tech, and definitely stop your low-tech life journey when you realize you're going too extreme, you're taking too much time, or you're trading too much convenience, and it has a negative impact on your personal life when you just want to have less tech. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and like, but most important, leave a comment with that tech item that you cannot live without, or you could not live without, except for your phone. And also, don't forget to check about the weekly One Bag Life community post. If you now want to know what actually are the benefits of living a low-tech life while pursuing a one-bag life, you can watch my last video to find out exactly that. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.